It took me 4.5 years to become a doctor and 3.5 years to become a YouTuber, and in this video I'll be comparing the return on investment by comparing the different salaries of MBBS interns as well as a YouTuber with more than 750,000 subscribers. Before we go ahead, a big disclaimer to anybody who's watching this video is absolutely not a flex. Actually, this will tell you what the reality is. Secondly, why a professional degree is worth 10 times more than a YouTube career ever will. And thirdly, hopefully it inspires you to create a side stream of income yourself. Anyways, hi, I'm Dr. Anuj Pachhel, an MBBS intern at Government Medical College Nagpur, and without any further ado, let's start. Let's take this step by step. Part 1 is becoming an MBBS doctor. To crack NEET UG, you have to give 11th and 12th, that is 2 years of hard work, plus whatever tuition you're going, usually it costs around 2 to 2.5 lakh, and additional 50-60,000 for the college which you're placed in. So roughly you would say the investment for becoming a doctor would be roughly around 3 to 3.5 lakh if you haven't got any scholarship or whatever, and if you're in the top 1%, you might get selected into a good medical college. Once you enter MBBS, 4.5 years will be very hard. It will be nothing compared to NEET UG. The cost of books, the tuition fees, the cost of marrow and different applications will cost you easily 3 to 4 lakhs if you are in a government college. It might cost you in crores if you are in a private medical college, but that's a different story. So if you combine all of this, you'll be studying for 6.5 years, and the total investment would roughly be 7.5 to 8 lakhs depending on what college you're in and what you're doing. But the reward at the end which you will get is becoming a doctor, and that is something else entirely. Apart from the studies, the other investments that you will definitely do in your MBBS is, first of all, you will invest your time into studies, and your time, effort and energy will go mostly in reading books and watching videos. You'll be sacrificing quite a lot of your young age, where most of your engineering friends or your arts and commerce friends will probably be enjoying quite a lot. The exams will be present, and there will be a lot of depressing moments in your MBBS journey. But I guess this really varies upon which type of person you actually are. So here's the grand reveal. I am earning around 10,400 rupees if I get the attendance of 30 days of being posted in internship. And yeah, I know that's quite a lot of money. I'm thinking of getting into the real estate or the gold agency because I really have to invest that much money somewhere. All the fun stuff aside, I think even a manual laborer earns like 600 rupees per day. But since you're completing your education and also you're getting a stipend, it's kind of an additional part. So this is the current salary in April of 2023, the time that I'm recording this video. It might increase in the future when we'll have to sit in the streets and protest for our desired income. What is very critical to realize over here is that this salary is only of an intern. If you become a resident, JR1, if you become a JR2, JR3, SR, this salary will keep on increasing. Even though I might be earning like 10,400 right now in internship, I can earn up to rupees 1 lakh per month when I become a first year resident. That's directly a 10x increase in the income in just 1 year. That is almost seen nowhere else. And let me tell you, JR1s and interns are the people in the hospital who do most amount of work. They are the person who are tortured the most, and they are the person who have the most amount of stress compared to every other person in the hospital except the patient's relatives, because their patient is kind of ill. The best part is the intern does not do the smart work. That means the intern does not have to figure out what the disease is the person is suffering from, or what is the treatment line. All of that is going to be given by the professors, the HODs and the different people who are treating the patient. The intern just has to provide the right investigations, just follow the orders and just give the different medicines to the person who is admitted. And most of all has to do clerical jobs like writing discharge summaries or bringing chai and nashta from different stalls to the residents. Interns might be the bottom most of the food chain, but they are the most important part of a hospital. I personally believe that the residents, the interns and the nurses, they all form the core of the hospital, out of which every single thing functions. If all three of them go on a strike, all the lives of the person in the hospital will be endangered. But the best part is that in different states, the salary varies quite a lot. From the highest I've heard up to 28,000 per month of an MBBS intern posted in a very high earning state. So whenever you're comparing the return on investment, we'll also have to evaluate what the future is looking like rather than just sticking on the current salary. After that, the salary goes on increasing, and SR can earn up to 1.5 to 2.5 lakhs in an institute, and when you become a professor HOD, you earn up to 5 lakhs in some institutes per month. If you become a doctor, the money is pretty much unlimited. You can even earn up to like 1 to 2 lakh per day. So to show you all of this in a very graphical fashion, let me draw this amazing graph. Here's the pre-UG era, so that is NEET, UG, internship, PG, SR and hospital. Up until the internship, you are exactly in the negative balance. So you are earning absolutely nothing. You are only paying and paying. What happens when you are in the internship? Your salary is extremely low. As soon as you join the PG, there is almost a 10 times increase in your salary, some cases 6 or 7 times, but surely there is a huge increase, and in the PG, your income starts to go increasing, and it becomes a graph like this. So this is a very good point. Please remember this when I talk about YouTube. Once you are done with the PG, you start with your own hospital, so you have to invest quite a lot to start your own hospital, your own clinic or whatever. So definitely some drop happens in your net worth, but then it's constant because you're trying to pay off the loans, and once the loans are paid off, you can just expect a good amount of money. But this will all happen after the age of 30 or 35, because before 30 or 35, most people will not have even completed their basic education. So this was a very important graph I wanted to show you with respect to the income. Moving on to the next graph, I've just added another layer over here called as the work. So work is, as you can see, from pre to internship, absolutely no work. You are completely free, no tension. And in internship, you have quite a lot of work, but you're still working less than the first year PG, that is the JR1. Salary is extremely low, but work is extremely high. That's why most interns will be frustrated and probably not encourage you to join MBBS. And this is where the rebellious phase of our doctor journey begins, where we are just complaining that we are not getting enough salary, we are overworked, we are tired, we are overburdened. Once you become a PG, that kind of decreases because you are earning quite good and you are simultaneously studying for PG, but also you are having quite a lot of work. As you can see, the work increases quite a lot when you start your own hospital, because you will have to do the management, you will have to look after the staff which is working for you and so much. So work definitely increases, but that is parallel to the income. Adding to it another layer, and this is the layer of study, because study is a very important thing as becoming a doctor. Studies is always constant. In the pre-UG era, in the NEET, you have to study a little bit. I consider the NEET UG to be a very easy exam, because that is nothing compared to NEET PG or INI CT or the bigger exams that you give later in your life after becoming a doctor. In MBBS, you have to study quite a lot. So this is the graph, but most of the studying happens during internship, because we are very stressed about which branch will we get once we are giving the NEET PG. So maximum studies will be done by an intern. So the intern will be paid the least, the work will be quite a lot, and he'll be most studying. Once you join PG, your studies will decrease because you'll be working more and learning more rather than studying actively. And during your SRship, it might increase because you might appear for the super specialty exam. After that, it just goes on decreasing and it stays to a constant level. Well, you just have to keep up with the updates. The study wala graph varies quite a lot with different people. This is my personal opinion of the graph, because I consider the graph to be like this. Finally, the last layer which I've added over here is something called as stress, which is very important to consider. So as you can see, stress is going to be extremely high in NEET UG. It's going to be going down during MBBS. It will be high during final year. Internship is the highest because NEET PG, work, everything, work-life balance is disrupted. JR1, JR2, JR3. JR1 will have the max stress, 3 will have less stress, and there will be a little bit increase when you become an SR, because again the final exam will be there. When you start your own hospital and everything, it just increases. So this was a very huge complicated topic. Please remember this graph over here. So stress, money, study and work. So these are the 4 parameters I've described over here. From this graph, I can concur that an intern, which is me, falls in this category, which earning is pretty less, work is pretty high, studies he has to do quite a lot, and stress is also quite high. So that is the reality which I'm facing here right now. Now let us discuss what being a YouTuber is like. So there are several ways you can earn money from YouTube. One of them being YouTube ads, which you are seeing probably right now. So if you click on an ad, I make some money. The second reliable source would be sponsors, but I'm not including sponsors in this discussion. The reason is not a lot of channels get sponsors, and even if they do, they might not accept it. So it might be a very varying thing to consider. So I'll be just considering the YouTube ad revenue. The third thing you can do is you can make a personal brand. So I have a website. I recently launched a hoodie also. Selling that or selling charts or something like that related to your personal brand is a great way to earn some money. Lastly, there is affiliate marketing. So all the links in the description of my videos. If somebody goes and clicks something, I earn something from Amazon. So I'm part of Amazon affiliate. And as the channel grows, the more important earning comes from your own personal brand. So I'll just take a great example. Linus Tech Tips is a very huge YouTube channel, and most of their earning comes from their stores. Another example that you might be aware of is Kurtz Kazart in a nutshell. So they have a store where they sell different items, and that's where I think 60% of their revenue comes from. But for me personally, that is not at all the case. Most of my earnings come from YouTube ad revenue, because I don't accept a lot of sponsors because I just don't make the videos that sponsors actually want. And secondly, YouTube ad revenue is kind of constant. So with that out of the way, let us discuss more. Before I actually reveal you, let me tell you what is the investment that goes behind making any YouTube videos. Launching a successful channel, because every day thousands of people start YouTube channels, right? But out of those thousands, only a few, only 3 or 4 people will actually make it on YouTube. That is because it requires a huge amount of investment. The first thing, the most foremost thing is consistency. There is a reason why I upload every Sunday at 10 AM. I really like making videos, and secondly, YouTube really likes when you are consistent. In the initial part, for around a year, I did not have a lot of subscribers, neither did I get a lot of views. The only thing that I was doing was I was regularly putting out videos which the audience wanted to view. I think it just took me around 1 year or so to get the channel just to 10,000 subscribers, which is quite a lot of time. So basically, years of putting hundreds of videos on the channel and seeing it not grow but still continuing to upload is the long-term strategy for YouTube, and one day it will take off, and it will take off like anything. Next, YouTube always starts out as a part-time activity, and it should always start out with a part-time activity, because full-time doing YouTube is not at all fun. But even when you do it part-time, the burden falls on your personal life, your sleep, your studies, and all the things related to your own personal development. Thirdly, it's got quite a lot of learning curve. You have to learn how to put the lights, how to arrange the camera, what is the focal length, how to edit the videos, import them, how to store them, save them, how to hire people, manage a team, all of that, and it comes out to be a very daunting task. The fourth point is, I guess, the most important, and I would say that running a YouTube channel is like climbing a mountain. happen. The higher up you go, the more difficult it gets. So the oxygen starts running out. Similar way, every time you get a new subscriber, your channel grows, and gradually it will get really difficult to grab hold of the attention of everybody. The last point I would say is the mental pressure that you get when a video is not performing well, or maybe you are receiving an enormous amount of hate, or maybe you have said something controversial. So I have luckily not been in much of these times, but I have definitely had videos which have performed exceptionally well and exceptionally poor. But hey, it's a job. There will be good days, there will be bad days. So enjoy the good days and be okay when the days are bad. So let's analyze the cost. An editing device will cost you around 180k. Camera will cost 100k. Other equipment 150k. Recurring cost of video editing like 10 to 20,000 per month. Script writing and content brainstorm and subtitles and all that will be 10k per month. So overall fixed cost will be 5 to 6 lakhs and the recurring cost will be 1 to 2 lakhs per year. The pros of running a YouTube channel is you get to make videos which might impact lives of thousands of people, probably changing their opinions, changing their way of looking at things, and that I think that's a power you cannot buy. I'm so happy and I'm so proud that my channel has got so many great videos that people have genuinely enjoyed over the years and still look up to this day. The con I would say is only one: you have to work really hard to make a good video, and it takes so much time to just make a video, make the thumbnail and just put it online. In my second, third and final year, every time during my university exams, I have also made videos, recorded them, edited them, but thankfully I did not fail in any of the subjects. I actually got a distinction in many of them. So here's the grand reveal. I take the YouTube ad revenue for the month of February, which is the month where I was sort of paying a lot of attention to the channel, but also at the same time I was studying. So this will be a perfect way to represent ki okay, if you're balancing both acts, so this is the amount you can be expecting to earn. So in February, I got 54,962.99 rupees. So we'll just round it off to 55,000 rupees in the month of February. So my channel got 2.3 million views and I gained 15,000 subscribers. So it was an okay month, I would say. It is not the highest, it is not the lowest, but it is still in the middle part. So at first glance you might think, okay Anuj, wow, 50,000 rupees, isme bhi tumhe complain karna hai, what the hell? And you also might be thinking, Anuj, you also do sponsors, what about that? So I'll be very honest with you, I don't accept a lot of sponsorships. I only accept those which align with my brand. In the last 3 months, I've roughly got around 100 brands call me, email me, but still I haven't replied to any of them saying that yes, I might be able to promote your product, because that just does not align with me. And the right sponsor is difficult to come by, so I just accept my life and just live on happily. But the most important thing to realize over here is that this revenue is very hard to increase over a certain point, because revenue is actually absolutely dependent upon the views. The views are dependent on the content, and the content actually is very dependent on the time. So in 1 month, let's say if you put a video which does extremely well, let's say that it gets 5 million views. Okay, what are the chances that the other few videos will also get the same amount of views? They are pretty less, because to get that many views, you have to spend that much time making and refining the video. So it is completely dependent on your time investment, and you don't have unlimited time. So the revenue from YouTube is definitely not unlimited. It's definitely capped at some points. For different people, different types of genres of the videos they make, is definitely going to be a limit to how much you can earn. And most importantly, you have to be relevant on YouTube by constantly changing up the type of content. So in lockdown, my Study With Me series was the most popular series I ever made, and the reason was that in lockdown people were not studying that much. After lockdown lifted, I noticed that my Study With Me episodes were not doing that good. I gradually decreased the amount that I'm releasing. I actually started a new series called as Exam Saga, which is kind of like a Study With Me episode, but it has a purpose, it has an objective, and people like when you have an objective in the video. So during that phase, my Exam Saga videos were the best ones. And now my internship is starting, and people will be more excited to know what actually an MBBS doctor and MBBS intern is doing. I'm predicting by the views of the last video that internship vlogs will be the best series I ever make on my channel. But the most important point against YouTube or being a YouTuber is that the future is unpredictable. You really cannot predict whether one day YouTube might shut down. One day you might become irrelevant. One day you might say something randomly and you might be cancelled on the internet. You will lose your subscriber base just like that. You will lose your view base. People, once they have a preformed opinion of you, they rarely change. And most importantly, if somebody ever asked me, will you quit your job of being a doctor to pursue this amazing career of being a YouTuber? I would probably say absolutely not, because it was my dream to become a doctor. Becoming a YouTuber is secondary to me. So let's draw the graph for a YouTuber. So the graph is pretty simple, as you can see. Let's first see the income. It is negative, very similar to the first which we saw as a doctor. It is very static in the middle, where you are absolutely earning nothing but you are investing nothing. But then of course the revenue increases, but at one point it has to be stopped because you cannot put unlimited time. The next thing is called as stress. So stress will be higher and higher. As you climb the mountain, the stress will become higher. You have to stay relevant, you have to make new content, you have to engage all the audience, all of that. And lastly, the work will of course keep on increasing till the point where you cannot work anymore. So at that point your revenue will also stop growing. So this was the very basic chart of a life of a YouTuber. So my final verdict would be, yes, my internship money is like 5 to 6 times less than what I'm earning monthly from YouTube. But the most important thing is that my future will be secure if I get a degree. I know what I'm going to be doing with my future. I know that there is growth over that in that field, but I certainly am not sure what will happen to YouTube. And due to this absence of reliability, I would say this is not an ideal job for anybody. A very important point that I would like to make over here is that I'm earning this much because my audience is mostly Indian. If I got this many views and I was living in America with my audience being predominantly Americans and people in UK, my ad revenue would be like 10 to 50 times more than that. So I might be earning anywhere from 25 to 35 lakhs per month with the same amount of views. And the reason is that because ads are extremely cheap in India, so the creator gets paid very, very less. And that's going to be very difficult to change in the next 10 years. So it's very easy for Ali Abdul to quit his job because in the month of February, which we were discussing, he got around 11 million views. My channel had 2.5 million views. So roughly 5 times more views than me. But at the same time, he might have made 50 times more money than I will ever make from that same month. And the reason is he's got audience predominantly based in the UK and all of those regions. But for a person in India, even if I get 10 million views, which actually happened last month, I did not even cross the 1 lakh limit. So yeah, it varies quite a lot. What I would say is the best point in favor of being a YouTuber is that it teaches you how to deal with different types of people. It teaches you the true reality of the internet, and it teaches you how to build a team, how to manage your products, and how to build a personal brand, which you don't get while being a doctor. So if you're creative, I would say definitely give YouTube a shot. It's one of the best platforms to be on. But obviously don't quit your job, don't quit your degree just to pursue your YouTube career, because the life is very unstable. And in the end, if something goes south, you don't have any backup plan to fall to. So get a degree, and after that do pursue whatever you want to. So in the end, I would like to conclude this video by saying, even though the life of a doctor might be extremely hard during the starting phase, the struggle is absolutely real, especially if you're a doctor who is coming from a zero family background where you're the first doctor in the family. It will be difficult for you in the starting. But once you are established, once you have done that hard work, once you have been through the struggle, you have changed the life of every single family member that is ever going to originate from your family. So तुम्हारे बच्चों की life अच्छी होगी, उनके बच्चों की life अच्छी होगी, because your education will be good, your wife's education will be good, your children's education will be good, and probably they might end up becoming a good professional. So just by struggling for 10 to 12 years, you have just significantly improved your family tree and increased the survival rate by quite a lot. So get a professional degree. Of course, practice your hobbies like making YouTube videos side by side. Only and only after you've done your degree, after you have been established, you might think, okay, maybe I want to pursue YouTube full time. And I wish you really, really the best, because it might be stressful. So yes, I really love being a doctor. I also really love being a YouTuber. I'm not quitting being a doctor anytime soon. Neither will I quit being a YouTuber anytime soon. I really love both of these things, and I'll try to balance them as much as possible. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that I was able to shed some light on this sensitive topic. Please make sure to go hit the thumbs up button. Also subscribe to the channel, because it makes up for all the time, effort, and energy I put into making these videos. Anyways, it's your boy Dr. Anuj Pachhel. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.